Hi everyone, and welcome to the 3D Experience Forum here at the beautiful Caesars Palace. We're talking with Olivier. He's the Vice President of Transportation and Mobility for Dassault Systems. We're going to have a fascinating discussion. Dassault Systems has a long history of being in the auto market, really excelling at it. But one of the most fascinating aspects and exciting aspects is our work with startups in the automotive industry. Can you please provide your take on that?
It has been 100 years of innovation for most of the car companies, but the entry barriers were so high that nobody could compete. And in the last 10 years, because of the change in terms of technology, in terms of consumer experience, electric cars, it's becoming now much more simple for new companies to try to compete in this sector. So it started with Tesla. I don't know if you remember that, but we have been partnering with Tesla from almost day one.
Yes.
And so once we got the new EV startups like Canoo or Lucid Motor or Byton or Faraday Future, a lot of those companies were starting from the same basis and had a lot of even former Tesla employees. And they love the platform approach that we were setting up for them, because one of their big advantages is they have no legacy. They start from a blank sheet of paper. So for them, the platform is a fantastic way to get all the people inside their company to work together in one unique environment.
How are we helping them to overcome some of the challenges of being a startup in such a highly competitive, capital-intensive industry?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is that they want to compete on the time to market. Usually in this industry, if you want to start a new platform from scratch, it takes 5 to 6 years before it reaches the consumer. And they don't have the luxury of waiting 5 to 6 years. They need to get the first prototype in a few months. They need to get the first car to hit the market in 2 or 3 years. So the platform was really, and especially cloud, was really the way for them to get quickly set up with the new system and to embrace all the digital technology to make sure that they would not use too much physical prototypes. They would directly design and do all the simulation in the virtual environment.
Now on the 3D Experience platform for the cloud, now it is able to enable a much more efficient product lifecycle for new designs, as you said, being tested, but also the ability to be ready for market immediately. Are you seeing that with a lot of startups you're working with?
Yeah. We can clearly see that, and what is changing dramatically is that, I mean, the product itself is not anymore just a set of mechanical components. It has a lot of software, it has a lot of electronics, and so PLM was really not anymore, the way to visualize the digital mockup, but to address the vehicle as a system. So now for us, working with Canoo, working with many of these startups, but even with traditional car makers, it is about not just visualizing the product, but the full architecture, from the requirements to the different systems that compose the car, because the car will be not only electric, but autonomous. And sometimes it's going to be produced by the car maker, sometimes it's going to be produced by somebody else. So also the relationship, when we talk about PLM, it's either important to have all the people inside these startups to collaborate, but also to have the right connection with their partners. Whatever it's suppliers, manufacturing contractors, etc.
I think that's an excellent point, where the 3D Experience platform on the cloud gives them a speed advantage of being able to get the greatest intellectual contributions and intellectual property contributions coming from their suppliers as well as their partners, and being able to build a vehicle as a standalone system or operating system, and thinking it more of a systemic type of a platform as opposed to just an electromechanical device overall.
Exactly, and I don't know if you remember what he said at the end of his presentation. He said, we are moving from value chain to value loop.
Yes.
So it's building an ecosystem where you can make sure that everybody in your ecosystem is connected to the platform.
Yes.
So you can control what you do in terms of development, in terms of IP. and you can actually make the feedback loop from these different partners to your core R&D team in order to improve the product.
You know, and when he said that, it occurred to me that because they have a 3DEXPERIENCE platform-based development methodology, that soon a car will learn its individual customer. It'll become the ultimate in personalization because there'll be Alexa code in there or Google Voice code or whatever voice-activated intelligent agent will be in there. And soon, an automobile will be the ultimate in the personalized customer experience because it'll learn you. It'll learn everything about you as you drive. And then it'll become truly an experience-driven economy.
You're exactly right. I think at the same time the vehicle is standard, and at the same time it's learning from your habits and the way you drive. By the way, it's the same thing with our platform. I mean, the fact that we have all these startups connected to the cloud, we can give the opportunity to have a standard product, very easy to use, that is able to help them on the time to market. Yes. But at the same time, we learn a lot about the way they use our platform. Yes. And so we can make also the feedback loop to our own R&D development team in order to improve our platform in a very agile way.
Yes, and it becomes the essence of the experience economy and the industry renaissance.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much for being on today.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, and if you'd like additional information on the 3DEXPERIENCE platform, please go to our website and make it a great afternoon.